Okay, we are looking at information from myged.com. At this point in time, we are looking at some review questions for the mathematical reasoning exam. The first question, as you can see, says, a painter rented a steamer at 9 a.m., returned it at 4 p.m. He paid a total of $28.84. What was the rental cost per hour? On the original question, it does have multiple choice answers. I'm not going to include those at this point in time for the sake of time. Let's take a look at how to solve this. Okay, this is a two-part question. Part one, we need to figure out how many hours did he rent it for. We know he picked it up at 9 a.m. He returned it at 4 p.m. There's a couple different ways to do this. If you can do this in your head, that's great, but please be careful. If you need to make a small chart, go ahead and do so. Do whatever you need to do to become comfortable getting the correct answers. So if we go from 9 a.m., let's do this. This is 9, this is 10, this is 11, this is noon. So if we go from 9 to 10, that's 1 hour. 10 to 11, that's another hour. 11 to noon, that's one more hour. So we're at 3 hours right here before we get to the noon mark. Now, from noon to 4 p.m., that goes to 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll go ahead and label those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 more. So we know the total number of hours rented is 7 hours. And that didn't take us too long. Now, here's part two. We know the total cost was $28.84. And we know he rented it for a total of 7 hours. Now we're ready for our next step. Okay, let's look at step 2. We know it was rented for 7 hours. Total cost was $28.84. We're being asked, what is the cost per hour? What is the cost per hour? I'm going to show you a couple different things on this. If you know what to do at this point, if you know that you need to do the division, that's great. Good for you. You are definitely in good shape. You can continue. Let's pretend or assume for a moment that we don't know what to do. Let's create a mini experiment. I'm going to take the same type of information, but I'm going to make up new numbers and I'm going to keep them simple. Let's say, for example, we go to a store and we buy 2 cups. Let's say that the total price on that at checkout was $6. If you take a look at this question here, if I asked you how much does each cup cost, you could probably tell me, you could probably think about it for a moment and realize, oh, each cup must cost $3, and you would be absolutely correct. What you're doing in your mind, and you may not realize it, is you're doing a division problem. You're doing the total price divided by the number of items. Total price divided by number of items. And this is important because this comes up a lot on standardized math tests. This is called unit pricing in a way. So in this situation, total price divided by number of items. We know the price is $6 divided by 2. That gives us $3. That's the cost of each item. That's exactly what we're going to do over here. So notice what we did. We created a similar situation with smaller numbers. We thought about what we need to do to walk through this and get the correct answer. We're going to do the same thing over here. So we're going to take the total price, which is $28.84, divided by 7. We're going to enter that into our calculator exactly as we see it. That first number always gets entered first. With this particular problem, the calculator is allowed, so we'll pause for a moment and punch that right into our calculator. When we punch that into our calculator, 28.84 divided by 7 equals, we get $4.12, and that's absolutely correct. At this point, our final answer, again, is $4.12. I do want to do a quick follow-up on this. There's something else I wanted to show you. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about the multiple choice answers, but I want to look at that for a moment with you. Let's say you figured out it was 7 hours, and you said, okay, I can count the hours. I know that's 7, but I'm not quite sure what to do next. Maybe you're having a brain fart or a senior moment. That's fine. It happens to the best of us. Here's one thing you can consider. We know 7 hours is the time period it was used for. The total cost is $28.84. And we know that somewhere in here is the price per hour. Those are the multiple choice answers. Let's take a look at this first one here. Let's just estimate for a moment. $2 and change. Let's see, if they're charging us $2 per hour for 7 hours, we know 2 times 7 equals 14. Oh, that's not what we're looking for. This is pretty well short. Let's look at B, 3.61. Let's do the same thing. Let's round this to 3, or simplify it to 3, turn it into 3. 3 times 7 is 21. We're still a little short. And with this question, we have a calculator. So if we wanted to, we could absolutely enter these numbers into the calculator exactly to see what we're ending up with. If you take a look at $4.12, which is choice C. If we take 4.12 times 7, we get a match, $28.84. So using the multiple choice answers and using some common sense and a little bit of time, we can determine, oh, the final answer has to be $4.12. Another thing I'd like to point out is if you're exercising this type of strategy, it's not a bad idea to start somewhere in the middle. A lot of times when you do that, you can figure out what to do next. You're either going up or you're either going down, depending on what answers you get and what the situation is. That's a little bit of a time saver, and we'll probably take a look at that a little later. So that's the solution to question number 1.